All right, we're recording. Oh, and Heather, we don't have a time window because we're on my account. So
okay,
take it as long as you want. All right, so today is, I just have to look at my calendar, September 21st, Sunday night, 6:30 out here in the West Coast, but it's still light out. And it's a really special team call tonight because we literally just got home from our leadership event that we were there for all the days blended in together. I don't know how many days it's been, but we're home now. So I actually turned to Heather yesterday while we were having a cocktail, yes. And I said, you're going to run the call tomorrow night, right? Yes? Okay, good. Because I think it's really great. This is the first year in my downline that someone has qualified themselves to be at leadership and not just a guest. So there's a little different perspective, I think. And that's why I think it's really important for her to take over this call rather than me, because I've done that the last few years. So I can't wait to have this recorded and hear her perspective, even though we've already kind of talked about it. But she qualified to go. She can run this dang call. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Heather. Heather, if you don't know Heather, Heather has been a friend of mine for 16 years. She lives down the hill from me. Her kids are like my kids are like their kids. I mean, this is what's really cool about this business, is that you can do this business with your near and dear friends, and when they succeed and do amazing things and qualify for an event and show up on their own, it's a whole lot of fun. So she's amazing. She's an amazing coach. She's driven like nobody's business. So you're going to get a really great idea of what went on at leadership, what to expect in the future to qualify for leadership, and how to get there, and whatever else she's got to throw in there. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you. I'm going to make sure everybody's muted, and then I'm going to actually turn off my video. So it's all yours. So I'm going to mute everybody. I'm not going to allow them. No, I can't mute everybody. Let me try and mute everybody and then unmute you. Okay.
okay. Can everybody hear me? Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me? Thumbs up? Okay, good. Hey, everybody. So yeah, as Anna said, we just got back from leadership. So the first part of the call, I just wanted to recap all the announcements that came out. I know Anna posted a lot in the group. You probably saw stuff from other coaches. So I'll go through it pretty quickly. But if we have time at the end, if you want more detail on something. You guys know about the 3 new product launches. So P90 is coming out Tuesday. So Tony was there and we did a live workout. It was great. It was, he has all the modifications, so it's definitely doable for a beginner, but it's not at all easy, trust me. They announced that they're going to be donating $5 per workout sold to Wounded Warriors. Tony's father recently died, and that's a charity that's important to Tony and his father. And it was really touching and sweet. Like you could tell Tony didn't know that Carl was going to say this, and his eyes started welling up. I honestly thought he was going to start crying. He was it was so sweet, and everybody did a standing ovation, and you could just tell he was really touched by it. And he's so that's important too. I mean, obviously, all of the soldiers do so much for us. And then there's the social media contest. So if you're gonna, you'll want you to post on your social media a picture of you and a customer that you're gonna help with P90. It doesn't have to be a picture of you together. If you live in separate places, it can be a collage or a picture of them with some sort of caption or something. And then you write on it. Let me make sure I get it right. I think you're right. I'm paying it forward. #P90. #It's your turn. And they're going to be, I would do one for every customer, an individual one for each customer that gets P90 from you. And then they're doing a contest at the end of the month, at the end of October. And the grand prize is that Tony is going to come to your house and work out with you. So that's pretty awesome. So, and he said you could just be you and him, or he's like, you can invite 500 of your friends and I'll do it at the local high school. Like, he doesn't care. It could be a huge, obviously event for everybody. So hopefully you guys, if you guys listened to Virginia's call a couple weeks ago and saw my post a couple weeks ago on the team page, hopefully you're already promoting. I've been doing an event page and posting like a little something every day. There's tons of stuff that's out now. The like memes and the graphics, and there's more video. If you go to the Team Beachbody page and the P90X page, there's just a bunch of stuff. So start kind of sprinkling that out. Insanity Max 30 is the next one coming out in December. And Shanti was there, and we did that one as well. And that one is hard, but again, he gave you the modifications. So I don't know how many of you guys have done regular Insanity, but sometimes you're just like, I don't even know what the modification is for that. I just know I can't like crawl around the floor like that. This is like they give you real things. So this is actually, even though it's intense, I think it's more doable than Insanity. So that one's a 60 days, and he took each month has a cardio type workouts and strength workouts. So he took us through a segment of each of those. And then a lot of you guys saw in the picture that's been floating around that has the 21-day fixed containers on there. Everyone was kind of like, why are the fixed containers on there? So that got brought up in the wall. And if you saw, Anna had posted in response that Carl had indicated in his answer on that thread that, it could be integrated into Insanity Max 30 as well. So I think that's great because I have a lot of fixers, and I still think that's the best meal plan that we have, and it's the simplest. I don't believe that the containers come with it. I'll have to confirm that, but I do. But if you have somebody who's already doing that and knows the meal plan, they can switch up with new workouts. And then the last workout that's coming out next to the 21-day fix extreme, and that's in February. So Autumn was there, and we did that workout as well, although obviously we didn't all have weights because there was a lot of us. But that's more intense workouts, more weights. Most of the exercises are supposed to have weights, with them, even though we didn't use them. And, the idea is this is taking it up a notch, no cheats, preparing for a show or other things. So there's no wine substitute. There's none of the yellow substitutes. If you guys are familiar with the plan, there's no chocolate cheat. There's no wine cheat. I guess that means no almond milk cheat, which is the only thing I typically do, which, it's really meant if you want an extreme 21 days. But I also think for the fixers that everybody has that have done a couple rounds, like I have a bunch of them, it's just fun to get new workouts. Like after a while, it gets kind of boring doing the same workout every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So those are the 3 new product launches they talked about. They did show a little blurb of the 3-day refresh infomercial that's coming out, and they're really driving home the Shakeology in that. So their real big thing was we want to increase the length of time that customers typically stay on Shakeology. I think the average they said was like 4 months, and I think they're really driving home in that 3-day refresh infomercial the fact that Shakeology is such an important part of it. And you want to continue on with that. And based on that, they anticipate getting a lot more Shakeology orders from that infomercial. Like once they tried it or whatever, a lot more customers are exposed to the Shakeology, which means, make sure you're in Success Club, because that's how you get those Shakeology Success Club customers. So if there's more of those, more to go around, we all get more. A lot of talk about training. So Anna and I are going to be talking a lot about that a lot more in the coming weeks. So we're already talking about. We're really trying to focus more on that, getting the new coaches started right. I mean, it's really hard. People get really overwhelmed with all the information, right? So we're trying to really narrow that down. What do they need to know right away? They did also announce that corporate, much like the Coach Basics, has now just released an Emerald to Diamond training. So we're going to be talking about that and probably running a group on that as well. I know there's a lot of people who want to go Diamond by the end of the year. So this group is going to be for people who are already Emeralds, but it's really targeted training to get you to Diamond, hopefully by the end of the group. So keep an eye out for that. And then Anna, you guys might have seen that Anna went to there was like a training to train others on the 3 vital behaviors. So she'll be doing something for the team on that soon. There was also a business opportunity presentation that they've now created a template, like a template PowerPoint. So that, if it's not already available in the back office, they gave us a copy of it. One of us can post it in the team group. But if you guys aren't actively doing webinars, it's something I've never actually done one, and I think it's a good idea to do it in tandem with these 5-day coach open houses that people are having. Some are doing it as groups, some are doing it as events. So I think having a set time and a place where somebody has to be at their computer versus checking in at their leisure. There's something to be said for that. And I think that anyone running a coach open house should consider having at some point in that 5 days having a live webinar. So the good news is there's this like template of a PowerPoint. I'm going to be going through it, and I'm going to customize it for my team. You guys can take it as it is and customize it, take it how we give it to you and tweak it further, however you want to do it. So that's another great tool that we have. So event-wise, they talked about Summit. Summit, sold out like way more than they thought it would. So they've worked out a few plans to make it doable for more people. They're anticipating about 25,000 people. They're now renting out the football stadium. So there's the big main thing, and then the awards thing the last day. We're all going to be in the football. I don't even remember what it's called. Chris, you probably know where the Tennessee Titans play or whatever, right? And then there's going to be other sessions I'm more excited about this, in the hockey arena, where the Nashville Predators play. And so for those sessions, there's going to be 2 tracks. So half of the people will be in the hockey arena getting some general session, probably the keynotes and whatnot, and the other half will be in the workshops. And then you're going to actually be go Preds. No, go Kings. What are you talking about? You're distracting me. So you're going to sign up for track 1 or track 2. So as soon as we know kind of when the signups are, you kind of coordinate your team. It's going to be the same information. So if everybody doesn't get into the same one, it's not a big deal. But you'll have a track 1 and a track 2. And then when it comes to the workshops, they're going to have the attendees stay in one room and have the speakers rotate, so there's not this mad dash around. So you'll be in one place and you'll get the 4, back to back, whatever they happen to be training. So again, I think they'll be grouped a certain way. So you'll want to pick a group based on the thing that has the most things you're interested in. And they talk a lot about there's going to be shuttles, and there's still have a lot of rooms at the Gaylord Opryland, which I don't think is right near town, but there's going to be shuttles, and they're going to do some of the workouts there. You will be able to sign up for the workouts ahead of time online, so it's not like madness, and at least for sure which ones you got into ahead of time. So they're working really hard to make sure everybody has as good of a time as possible. They are working their way through that wait list. If you're not on the wait list, get on it now, because they're letting people cancel. So if you have coaches who cannot go, they can cancel, and that will open up spaces for other people. There is a $25 fee for that, so you won't get your $99 back. You'll get $25 less than that. But they're hoping that will encourage people who just aren't going to come at all to actually on the record say, I'm not coming. So that way they know those spots are open. So anytime somebody cancels, they're the next person on the list is going in. And they assured us it's in order that they signed up, and they know people are saying, oh, so-and-so signed up after me. And she was like, it's not possible. Every entry was date stamped. We're going in date order. The only people who get priority over others are the new coaches that qualify for the success starters. So they're saving a block of tickets for those people, and those people will get bumped to the front. And then they talked about the new leader conference. So it looks like now they're going to be splitting up leadership into 2 events, at least for next year. So in January in LA, they're having what they're calling the New Leader Conference, and that's for 2 stars to 4 stars. And those are people who did not attend leadership this week. The qualifications are you need to be 2-star to 4-star by the end of the year, which means you have to go into qualifying by mid-November. And to have your hotel covered, you have to have 20 elite points. So if you are close to 2-star, or you want to reach for it and you don't know what half of what I just said is, reach out to me or Anna or your upline, and we'll talk about it. Definitely know I have someone on my team who's pushing for it, and we're going to powwow a little bit more. I know you can see me. I want to see a thumbs up. There we go. I got her. All right. And then next year, leadership is going to be for 5 stars and above, and that's going to be in San Diego at the Coronado Island, which is awesome, which is this little island right off of San Diego, which is like beautiful. So those are kind of the announcements. And then, so I was just going to talk to you guys a little bit about what it was like for me, and then kind of some of my key takeaways. Beachbody definitely does, like, all of the events are like super top notch. Like, Summit is great and all that, but these kind of recognition type events, they just really go a step above. I mean, this is a beautiful resort. We got there, we got upgraded to a suite. We got like wine sent to our room, and it was just awesome. All the meals were free, and it was just a beautiful place. So they really do want to reward people who are working hard. When I got there at first, I was thinking, felt a little surreal. Like, okay, I totally set this goal and I went for it and I got it, but like look at all these other people. Like, you know what I mean? I had a little bit of just at the beginning, like a very case of like, I think I said it, if you guys watch the other video, it was like, which of these things doesn't belong? And I think it's me. Only because, all the top coaches were there, and it was, but then I started to realize there was all these other people there. We had this great team building event where we all sat in these circles and did like this speed dating almost. And you got to talk to somebody for 3 minutes. And most of these people, I've never heard their names before or seen them before. And they qualified to come too. And, there are people who told really inspirational stories, or they've been coaches for this many years, or they've been full-time for this amount of time. Or there was one guy who said, he was homeless and living under, an abandoned train or something, and now he makes 6 figures. And I was like, see, that's proof right there that like anybody can do it, and anybody can earn it, anybody can make it. So you don't have to be or look a certain way, but you do have to be actively pursuing what you need to pursue daily. So one of the big takeaways for me was really you have to work hard. Like it's not easy for anybody. You have to do the daily things, and you have to hit Success Club. I would say I've been a coach for 3 years, even though my husband signed up prior to that. We didn't do anything with his business center. And I would say the first year, I don't know if I even hit Success Club, honestly. And I thought, it's good to have, but not a need to have. And even last year, I was like, I'm just going to get enough months where I get the trip. And if I miss a month or two, it's no big deal. And then when I decided this year that Success Club is non-negotiable, like that's when I really started to see a difference in my business. Because to get Success Club, you're talking to more people, you're being more consistent. The income grew, and I'm not just getting Success Club once. I'm getting Success Club in my account and Nelson, my husband's account, every month. And I have not missed a month all year because I decided it had to happen. I mean, it's not only because of not just for the money, but because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. It's like, and then once I did it 1 month, I was like, that wasn't that hard. And then when I did it again, I was like, and then after like 3 or 4 months, you're like, okay, now I don't really have an excuse anymore. So I'm like, darn it, I don't have an excuse anymore. So my point is, everyone should get Success Club every month. All these people that were in this room, all the people that came up on stage, the coaches that talked, they were all, 40, 50 months in Success Club. I mean, they made it happen, and look where they are. So number one thing is you have to get Success Club. And then you have to tell your coaches, you have to teach your coaches to get Success Club as well. Because they want their businesses to grow. Same reason you're doing it. And also, your coaches making Success Club is a portion of how you get elite points, which is how you qualify for the top 10 and leadership and all these other things. So if you want more information on that, that's a more in-depth topic. But if you want more information on that, reach out to me or Anna. We can give you some resources on that. One other key takeaway for me, Scotty Hobbs got up there and spoke, and I know a lot of the gals out here, we love us some Scotty, right? So Scotty put up a slide, and it said, I want to read it. So his slide said, if my coaches did exactly what I did today, would their business grow? So this is something he asks himself every day. If my coaches did exactly what I did today, would their businesses grow? And if the answer is no, it means you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So, as leaders or growing leaders, I think everybody at this point knows what to do every day. If you don't know what to do every day, reach out to your upline. But we have the power of threes now. We have the tracking. It's not just doing the stuff. It's actually tracking that you're doing it. And then for accountability, showing it to someone else, your upline, maybe it's your accountability partner, whatever. Because sometimes you can think you're doing the right things, and then someone else looks at it and goes, well, that doesn't really count because you kind of already talked to that person, or you listed that person. You're talking to the same people, or you're not getting, you're saying your goal is this rank. Well, then you can't just do the minimum of the threes. You have to do more than that. So it's really important that you are doing it and actively doing it. And you have to be an example for your coaches. And I think that Scotty's a really good example of that because he does it. He doesn't just say it. You know what I mean? And that's why I really thought that was an important takeaway from Scotty. The third one, well, I talked about it a little bit already, just the fact that anybody can do it. That was my third point. And the fourth point is a combination of what we were talking about, but pushing yourself, right? I mean, don't just do the minimum. Don't get to Success Club 5 and stop, or like, oh, I have a couple more people who are interested, but I'm going to save them, or like kind of like not get back to them right away, because that way I'll have a better chance at Success Club next month. That's none of these leaders at these events, they don't do that. They just keep going. You want to just keep talking to people. You know, if you want to grow faster, if you want to get to those goals faster, you talk to more people. You do more of those things that we talk about in the tracking sheet. You don't do the minimum. I mean, the minimum is like, you know, you're working 5 jobs and you only have 30 minutes a day. Okay, do the minimum. But if your reality is you want this to be your full-time job, or you want this, you know, you need to make a certain amount of money, or you're the breadwinner of the family, or your spouse lost their job, or whatever your situation is, someone in the family is ill and you need help them, your effort and the number of people you're talking to is direct correlation to that. So you have to increase those numbers. We talk about the power of 3 for the purpose of simplifying it for new coaches, but as leaders and growing leaders, you guys need to be doing more than that if you're not where you want to be with the business. To that end, this is my little infomercial here. If you have not already signed up for the Fall Classic or found an accountability partner, this is a great excuse to get a partner and do this. I mean, this is like the Team Cup, but you have an accountability partner, so it's just 2 people. And sometimes that's a little intimidating, because it's like, if you mess up, you feel like you're just letting this other person down or whatever. But we're going to also do a team, you know, a separate page for it. We're going to make it fun. We're going to treat all the participants, you know, we're going to do fun stuff together, but you all will be paired up individually. This is a great chance to have somebody, you know, try out somebody as a success partner, see what it's like to kind of, you should be reporting your numbers to that person every day. You should be setting goals. Don't use the excuse that it's the holidays or it's Halloween or it's this or that to just say, I'm not going to do it this time. Like literally, if your name is not on that list for the Fall Classic, that's a sign that you're not interested in growing this business. There's nobody's going to be like upset if you don't get a certain amount of points, or this is all just a way to help yourself grow, have a little fun. We're going to have some fun with it, but you just got to step out every once in a while. You have to just try something, especially if you've never been on a Team Cup team. Like, there's nothing to lose. If you don't get any points, nothing happens that wouldn't happen anyways. If you get a certain number of points, you get Success Club, you get all the benefits of Success Club. You'll get the leads next month. You get, you know, how I don't think they've released the prize or whatever. You get a little bit more than that. You get free stuff. Like, who doesn't love free stuff? Everybody loves free stuff. So there's a sign-up sheet in the Team Victory All-Stars page. If you already have a partner, stick your name on there. You guys are responsible for registering yourselves, but I just want to know who you are so I can add you to my separate Fall Classic page. If you don't have somebody and you want to be paired up with somebody, there's a list at the bottom where you just put your name in, and you, you know, we'll match you up. Anna and I will look at the list at the end of it and figure out, you know, if there's any connections between the two or what makes sense. There can only be 1 diamond per team. So that'll be something else we'll be looking at. But I would like to know, based on a show of hands, who is already registered or has a teammate for that. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. And who is still thinking about it and is not sure if they want to take the lead? 1, they like honesty, and who just hasn't gotten around to it, but they're definitely doing it. I've got some people who did not raise their hands at all, so I'm not sure what that means. But I do encourage you, because I think it'll be fun for everybody. We're going to try to make it fun. We'll probably have Zoom calls. All of the national coach calls that month, which is October, will be based around training for the Fall Classic. So Beachbody's going to be giving us resources as well. So, you know, a lot of times people are just like, it's the end of the year. You know, let's just kind of coast in, because everybody's really going to be interested in weight loss, you know, in January. That is the worst possible thing you could do right now. You continue to talk to people now. You probably will get a lot of no's, but you will be growing such a huge list to follow up with in December. Maybe when Insanity Max comes out, or even in January, you know, that's when they're ready to commit, even though it's already come out. And then even people who want to do the fix in February, the new fix Extreme. So you need to keep going. You need to push hard. The Fall Classic is a way to do it. You just need to, I spent a lot of time being inconsistent or wishing I was at a certain spot and using a lot of excuses. For those of you that don't know me very well, so I was working full time at a movie studio here in LA, and it was a fun job. I mean, it was a really fun job. It was long hours and politics and a long drive, but at a certain point, I was using that as a crutch. Like, oh, I work so hard. I work all day. I have a 3-hour commute. I have kids, and for a long time, I wasn't growing the business. And I was able to leave that job in March, but it would have been sooner. It could have been sooner, and I would be in a different spot than I am. So I just encourage you, if you've been inconsistent, just start being consistent now, because you never know what's going to happen. Even if you love your job, I liked my job a lot. Wouldn't you rather have that option if you need to? So I think that is it for my list. I don't know, Anna, are you still there? I don't know if she normally open it up.
I am still here.
Yeah.
I wanted to listen to you. Hold on, let me turn on my video. Okay, I've been here. I've been listening intently. You just couldn't see me. I was actually chilling like this, so nobody wanted to see me anyways.
What we see now.
There's a hand raise. I see a hand raise. Karen, I'm going to unmute you. Oh, that's so cool. I've never seen anybody raise their hands. Go ahead, Miss Karen. You have a question? I don't see that you're on video, but I do see your audio is unmuted. Your question?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay. Chris wants my office. It's taken me 5 years to get this office.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna lower your hand. Anybody else have any questions? Pop up on the chat or raise your hand. I don't know how weird she found that, but if not, I wanted to say awesome job on hosting the call. You gave a lot of information. It's really great to hear from someone other than me. I'm tired of listening to me talk. So I wanted to say on that note, the leader of the day has been amazing. Now, show of hands. Wait, hold on. I got to get the gallery view. How many of you have been loving the leader of the day? Yeah. Okay, wait. Keep your hands up. Oh, wait. Keep your hands up. I need a screenshot. Okay. All right. Cool. Got it. And you guys have kind of seen my posts about how this is going over on the wall. It's been unreal. I mean, this weekend I had a ton of people thanking me for the idea, and then it was brought up again on the wall, and then as I was leaving, I had more people saying, you need to tell me more about this thing. Truthfully, it's one of those things where we all know what to do. Someone just happens to throw out this idea that sounds brilliant, which is not brilliant. But it really, what I've loved about it, because I've gotten to reconnect with a lot of you, and get to know you, and just kind of like what Heather said when we did this speed dating. It's almost like speed dating. One person a month, we've been able to share stories. Next month, I want to do things a little bit more fun, because we're really starting to dig into sharing leadership on this team. And that's where I was going with that. Without listening to me all the time, it's been very refreshing to have Virginia host the call, or have Michael host the call, and now have Heather host the call. And I want to continue to do that, as well as this leader of the month, with a spin on it, because now that we've heard, and yes, we're going to have some new people volunteering, which is amazing. I want to get away from the story, and I want to start teaching leadership. And I want you guys, and I hope that because you have stepped out a day of the month and you have been an amazing leader, you've realized how it's not difficult to be a leader. and you're constantly learning from others. And that's all I've done. I'm constantly learning from others and applying and learning and tweaking and making mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I've made happened last week, and it was me committing to a Super Saturday event that really flopped. Like this has probably been the biggest lesson I've learned in the last couple of years. So we make mistakes, but I'm not afraid to do something because you make mistakes and you learn from them. Hopefully they're not financial mistakes. So I hope that the leader of the day has given you little tiny bits and pieces of that, like, wait a minute, I can do this. So we're going to do it again. And I'm going to change the responsibilities up, and I'm going to actually ask for votes this week. I want you guys to look for that post, and I want you guys to come up with new responsibilities, because I had asked for that the last time, and I used a lot of your suggestions. So I want you guys to come up with, based on what you saw this month, what your needs would be to have somebody else give you during that day. So I'm going to post that tomorrow, so that we have all week to kind of fill in what that new leader of the day can do. And think, there's new coaches volunteering, which is amazing. There's veteran coaches. There are coaches that are just kind of wanting to get back into it, volunteering and stepping their foot in. So think of that and just post away. And it doesn't matter how many posts we get. I'm scratching. I got bit by mosquitoes all weekend. It doesn't matter how many we get, because we're going to use that. And we're going to grow from that. We're growing as a team, and that's what's just so amazing to see. That is how, if everyone grows together, then everyone grows on their own. So that's it. I'm going to stop talking. Except for Karen now has a question. I have a question. How long are you running your challenge groups? 30 to 60 days. Also, how are you having your challengers check in daily? Heather, why don't you answer that question?
So I have a couple of groups now. I really only have people doing PIO or the 21 Day Fix right now. Probably because those are the two workouts that I do and believe are the best. I don't have enough people doing the other workouts, but so I keep the groups open. I kind of keep them open. I probably keep them open for 3 months, because I let new people come in every week, especially with the Fix. It's not 21 days. It's like 3 months. By the time when it really starts to slow down, then we kind of like clean it up and start a new one. Only because I like, I just have everybody in my team you could really give any Monday as the start date. I mean, it doesn't have to be the one that's in the calendar or whatever. We have one that's identified because it doesn't really matter. People need a deadline to order, but so we have new people coming in every month. And we have been doing a 2-post thing. So in the morning, it's something motivational and fun, or do this or that. And then in the afternoon, it's like a NWS, your rankings. So we want to give them a reason to come in the morning and kind of maybe have something fun. But at that point, they haven't had their day and they don't know their rankings. So rather than give them an excuse to come in twice, basically. So that's what we're doing.
Awesome. Is anybody else doing their challenge groups that are on this call differently than how Heather explained? Nobody? Okay. I'm going to answer that question as well, because I do it a little bit different. And this has really seemed to work well for me. I run my groups for 30 days. It doesn't matter what program they're doing. Typically, like Heather, they're doing 21 Day Fix or PIO, because that just seems to be who I'm attracting. But I got my format from a top coach who should probably be in the top 10 this year. She's number 9 right now. But I started using her format right before PIO came out. I take 30 days and I do 3 posts a day. The first one, like Heather, the first one early in the morning is something fun. It's a task of the day. It's really like, and I don't necessarily make it about fitness, because that's what people sometimes they feel guilty about what they're going through. And so just an easy question. And I have a template that I've shared how I run that. And then the second and third posts are exactly the same. So like Heather, she's got the accountability piece. I have one in between that's an open forum. So that's at noon, open forum, spill your guts, doesn't matter. And then the third piece is the accountability piece. So basically, how did your day go? What did you work out? What did you shape? But when I finish that group in 30 days, all of those people go over into my main accountability group. It makes it really easy for me. And the only thing I have to come up with every day is one fun post for the morning, and I keep it really short. So that's how I do my groups now. But that just goes to show you that you can really do the groups however you want to do them. However, if you find that people are not engaging, then there's a change. Maybe you shorten them. Maybe you keep them 30 days. But you really have to kind of work that out yourself. There is no magic challenge group. Would you agree, Heather? There's no magic challenge group. It's not like this is the only way to do it.
It's what you're comfortable with, and you can even, based on your group, if you get a real talkative group, you may decide you want to do more posts. If you get a real quiet group, you have to get creative to figure out a way to get them to start talking. And then someone else did post something about, is it one program per group? You can do it either way. If I have enough people who are doing various things, we can do a mixed group. If I have 5 or more people, they're doing the same thing, I prefer a program specific group, just because you can really dig in. Like, I have a lot of resources for PIO and 21 Day Fix, and now for P90 already, they're in there, like sample meal plans and a lot of the little fun factoids and things and recipes and other things that fit that program. So you'd have to be a little bit more generic with a mixed group, but there's no reason why you couldn't. That's how I think when I first started doing it, that's how I did it, because I didn't have enough people doing the same thing. So you can do it.
I think that's important. I think that you can be flexible. And I'm glad that question was brought up, because I think a lot of people are afraid to promote one kind of group because they're afraid that they won't have that many people. Who cares? Do it. And you know what? You have control of the group. If you find that you started people talking and you end up with one person on that challenge pack, and you have 3 others with that are now talking to you because of the post, but you've discovered that maybe that workout is not for them, but something else is. You can always change the group once you get started. You say, hey, here's what I did. I decided that I was going to let everybody kind of do their own things. It's your group. You can control it. You can make last minute decisions based on who ends up committing, but don't be afraid to put it out there one way and end up being something else. That has happened for 5 years. That happens to me all the time. And sometimes I have a wave of people, so I know that PIO that's going to be the group, but it's very rare that I have a whole group of just those people, especially when I only run them 30 days and then I'm done with them. But I may promote it as a PIO group just to get people talking. So that's usually why that question comes up, because we don't necessarily, some people just like Chris and a T25, like he could get a bunch of people doing T25 at once, and I couldn't, but I could promote a T25 group and end up with like one T25 person and 5 PIO people and still go, okay, well, here's how I decided to do it. And nobody's going to say, I don't want to be part of this group, because you're helping them. So I hope that's helpful. Wait till December. Yes, I am going to take on Insanity Max. I'm definitely committing to that. You are all my witnesses. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? I love this because I love questions, and I'm not the only one answering these. And feel free, you guys, unmute yourself if you are doing something different and would like to chime in, because this group is this call is yours. Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, in case anyone else was wondering, I think I know the answer, but you have this 30-day group. Some of those programs last longer than 30 days. What do you do with your people after that? If it's a 30-day group and they were doing PIO, do you have them go?
I have them go into my accountability group, because that group is all going forever. Because typically what ends up happening is that let's just say out of 5 people that finish that group, that 30 days, 3 people don't finish the next 30 days, and that leaves only 3 people posting for me and with my experience. And there's just as much support in the accountability group. What I did was I just basically gave them wings. I set them up for success in the first 30 days, and then I've given them wings in a bigger support group. So that's my theory based on how I run my groups. But yeah, that's a good question.
And Chris, to answer your question, I don't know exactly when they'll say the specific date. Probably, maybe a month out of it. Seems like 2 to 4 weeks before is usually when they say specifically. I'm trying to think that slot that they always do in December. It's usually pretty early in the month, right? Like whenever the various P90 sequels came out in December, I think it was early December is my guess, because you want to get a couple of weeks of Christmas shopping in there. But yeah, so no, I don't know for sure, but that's my guess. We'll probably know.
Keep checking the FAQs, and if somebody notices it first, post it in the group. Do you want to answer Ioanna's question about Shakeology Challenge?
Have you thought of doing it like Shakeology only challenge? Which
yeah, I think that's probably the question.
Oh, I've done short ones. I never got enough people to do like a 30-day one. I never have somebody just buy Shakeology. It's so inexpensive to just have them get a workout too. So I rarely have people who are just on Shakeology, but I think a shorter term Shakeology challenge might be good. Incorporating it with like a meal plan and something else, but you could really do anything if you had enough people interested. I personally put my focus on the challenge packs because I feel like they need the whole thing, and it's it's so highly discounted with the workout that I usually go for the workout Shake-O combo.
Yeah, and I think that was really a really popular thing when right before challenge groups came out, when we didn't really have that tool available to us. A lot of people ran Shakeology only groups because it was hard to sell 2 separate programs because it cost so much. So it was an opportunity for you to bring in someone to understand the value of Shakeology and then to bring them into a program. But like Heather said, now that we have challenge packs, it doesn't really necessarily make sense to only do one, because financially, why would you want somebody to spend double the money when you can have everything with whatever for $10 or $20 more? I don't want you to pay more money than you have to pay. And that's my approach, and that's exactly what I firmly believe, because why would I want to pay for a whole other program? And so, but that's not to say that you can't do it. It's definitely been done, and there are templates floating out there. It's like a clean eating challenge. So thinking outside the box, we encourage. So if you want to do that for 30 days, try it out. If it fails, no big deal. You try something else. Try it, or like Heather said, try it for a week and see what happens. And what's a good way to do that is to get them, now that we have sample packs, which we didn't have before. You have them commit, and a lot of people are doing this, have them commit to a sample pack, and then do a 5-day challenge. And that really kind of gets them, and then that's when you're sharing a lot of information and clean eating tips and things like that. And then you've only committed 5 days of your time to really kind of working those people through. To answer the question about one accountability group for everyone who's completed 30 days, yes, originally that group was an accountability only group. 90% of those people had been in a challenge group before. There are only maybe 2 people out of 100 and some that are not on Shakeology, but 99% of them have been in a challenge group of mine before. I'm actually doing something a little bit different this month. Rather than doing a separate group, I'm actually using that accountability group and running 30 days in there, so I can reignite the flame for a lot of those people that had finished challenge groups a long time ago, and promote to those that have kind of never really done the group that I'm doing now, the format that I'm doing now, so that come next month, if they want to commit to, let's say, in December, they want to commit to Insanity or P90, like my shirt. Then I'm going to do another separate group. But this is kind of like a coach at a glance. I'm running it in there, and then, hey guys, I'm not going to do it, for another few months. If you want to commit to another group, full 30 days, then do that. So see how I'm saying? I'm flexible. But yeah, I always have this one accountability group that's always going. And even that is kind of, evolved on how I'm running that group based on the engagement in there. So I'm actually running that group a lot like my other challenge groups. Okay. Yes. You know what, Chris? I've moved people before. This actually, years ago, I did this, and I had a lot of pissed off people because they had really connected with each other. And I, you know, I never did it again for a long time. But then I realized that it's my group, and I have to figure out how to make this work, and so that when I carry them over into another group, it's very similar. A lot of the times people are upset about, you know, losing that small family environment, but you just keep moving with your conviction. And you know what, honestly, it's your time. You're helping them on your time. You have control of the situation. So yeah, this is exactly what I do. I move people over here, and that's how it rolls. If you don't want to be a part of it, I can't help you. This is how I can help you. So that's that question. Do I do prizes for my accountability? Sometimes I do prizes. It depends on my mood or what I have. So yeah, I mean, celebrating them is great. I don't do a point system. It doesn't work very well for my group. A lot of top coaches do a point system. For me, it's too hard to manage, and people actually don't really do it for the points. They'd rather just be engaging in the group than have to go fill out the document that says that they posted today. So, but everybody's different. So, you know, test that out, see if it works. If it does, then keep doing it. If it doesn't, then don't do it. Okay, Heather, why don't you answer this other question?
Well, I think this is more specific to what you do.
Oh.
Do you let people come back in if they see you're promoting another PIO group and they're already in the other group? Do you let them back into a new one, or you just say
no? They stay in the accountability group. If they're already in the middle of a PIO round, I won't start them in a new PIO group. They stay in the accountability group. If they want to start PIO over, or they've just completely fallen off the wagon and want to start over, yeah, then I will consider putting them in the new group. I am a case by case person. And that's why you see there's a couple people in my accountability group that are not on Shakeology, because my heart just felt that they needed to be in there. So I am not hands down, I'm gonna kick you out. When it comes to the Emerald to Diamond group, that's gonna be a different story. But my challenge groups, I take it case by case basis. Hopefully that helps. Do you guys have any questions for Heather? Because I would love for her to answer more questions. This is really good.
So thorough that they just can't even think of a single thing.
This is true.
I know Leonard Curry has questions. And Polly, I know you always have a question, Polly.
Come on now.
I see like 8 Tazzies. Where's my Tazzie questions? Polly. Nothing? Well, okay. So did I convince anyone who wasn't going to do the Fall Classic to do the Fall Classic? Because you'll be my best friend.
Yeah. I want to say one thing too.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about the details of the Fall Classic? Yeah, you can talk more about the details, but I'm going to say one thing about success partners, because I've had this discussion a few times in the last weekend about success partners. You don't only need one success partner. In fact, I had a conversation with someone that in our what was it, speed dating, that had been to 4 leaderships, and I was explaining about how
12 success partners.
How I have like 12 success partners. And he was like, I'm so glad that you said that. I don't actually put them in a box that say, you're my success partner, you're my success partner. But when you get to these events or you connect with people online, you reach out to somebody for a certain reason because they give you a certain thing and you're able to give them back something. Somebody else has a different gift. So you don't need to put yourself in a box and only have one success partner. Yes, for the Fall Challenge, you do, but I want you to think outside the box with success partners, because once I started to do that, my business was like a completely changed business. So let's see, what questions do you have?
So was more detailed on the Fall Classic. So it's going to be based on points like the Team Cup. I don't know that they've released all of the specifics, but the idea is that you are partners with somebody, and they so you'll get a point for every success club point that you get. usually you get points for rank advancement, and if someone on your team rank advances during that time too. Occasionally they'll do it's double day or double week or whatever, so you have a chance to double your points for this little promotion. It doesn't mean you're doubling your Success Club points. I wish. How awesome would that be? And then there's usually prizes. So I know with the team of 5 prizes, I think the tier 1 was like at 30 points. So everybody had to get, 5 or 6 points or whatever. And so I imagine it'll be less. Like maybe if you both get 10 points, you get a little something, or maybe they'll make you push really hard if it's 20. I don't know yet. I don't think they've
actually. You keep talking because there's another question. I'm going to go you didn't get the form. I got the form in the Elite Sneak Preview, and I can give you more details.
Yeah, and as Jackie says, FAQ. I'm going to do what they do on the National Coach Call. We're not answering you. Go see FAQ. What was it? 1854 or whatever it was. Yes, there's more information there. The basic idea is you get points for Success Club points and rank advancement and team advancement. And the idea is you just push it. Like whatever you were going to do. When we did in July, I had 4 coaches on my team be on my team, and we all decided at the beginning of the month. I think Lara, you did something similar. Like I think we were doing 3 messages a day, and we all went to like 15 or 20 messages a day. We're going to do 15 or 20 messages a day. And like halfway through the month, I think we're like, I don't think we know anybody else. No, so we kept going, but a lot of the second half of the month was following up. So it was really just, increasing what you would normally do. And then we would have our weekly calls and just talk about kind of what is everybody's struggles. We talk about what was talked about on the National Coach Call. I probably will with a bigger group do some kind of prizes or something, additional prizes. So everyone who participates, will have a chance to get something cool. I will say that. And so it's just really fun. I mean, why not have a little, fun with it? And I don't know, maybe I'll and come up with a prize for the best team name, or so think of funny names. And there's a lot you can do because now there's 2 people, so you can come up with really funny names.
Yeah. I'm going to show you real quick. There's going to be a goal sheet, Fall Classic. See, it kind of looks like a baseball. You can't see anything, but this is the goal sheet that's going to show up in your back office.
You get a single, it's certain prize, and a double, and that sort of thing.
Exactly. You get a single if you qualify for Success Club 5. You don't both have to. If one does, then you get a single. A double is both qualify for Success Club 5 plus earn 20 Success Club points. And then a triple is you both qualify for Success Club 5 plus the team earns 30 Success Club points. And then the home run is that you both qualify for Success Club 10 plus the team earns 50 Success Club points. But the cool thing about this, and the first prize is the single is a baseball T-shirt and pennant. The double is a baseball T-shirt, pennant, and stadium blanket. The triple is a baseball T-shirt, pennant, stadium blanket, and canvas tote bag. And the home run is a baseball T-shirt, pennant, stadium blanket, canvas tote bag, and a hoodie. So the cool thing, and I'm sure that Heather will, I appreciate Heather taking the lead on this because she just nailed the cup. And that's another reason why I just said, you run with this. You nailed the cup. Is that these are all goals. This is a goal sheet. It's like, how many contacts have you added? How many invites to challenge groups? And then enrolled in challenge packs. And, you set your goal based on the single. So the goal in week 1 based on the single is, 40 contacts. And what did you actually do? And then week 2, 40 contacts and then invites, 40 invites. And then how many did you actually do? But you just set your own goals. This is the guideline. It's going to be in the back office. They did have a typo on it, but it's really cute and colorful. So
yes, they still have a grand prize where you get to come to LA and all that. Yeah. Which would be such a fun for Anna and I to drive 30 minutes down the freeway. I'm just kidding. It would still be fun.
We can go there any day. Okay.
There was one question in there from Chris.
Yeah. Go ahead and take that, and then we'll call the call.
Demanding schedule. What was the light? Well, it was a couple of things. It was a little bit of work, politics. You get in a certain point in your career sometimes, and you're not going anywhere, no matter how much harder you work. you're not going to get a promotion, you're not going to get more money. And it was kind of clear that that was the point. We also moved up, even further north away from my job. So my commute went from like a little under an hour to an hour and a half each way. And, my kids were just getting bigger. And so it was a combination of things. And I knew that there was going to be layoffs at my job. So that was the last thing that I was like, okay, I probably knew like 6 months in advance that there were probably going to be layoffs. So I was like, okay, if I kick my butt into gear now, maybe when they have layoffs, I can volunteer and then get a package and leave. So that's what ended up happening. But I honestly don't think I really thought it was going to happen. I think I told Anna it might happen. It's like, no way. And I was like, nah, I don't think it's going to happen. And it did. So I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad I did eventually, pick up the pace. But,
So really quick, based on that, what would you say was the difference when you said, holy crap, I need to pick up the pace? What was the difference between you working your business then and the activity of, I got to make this work?
Well, I honestly wasn't consistent or writing anything down before that point. I mean, and ever since that point, I don't think I've skipped a day. I mean, I've done something every day, even if it wasn't the full thing, like when we're on vacation or whatever. I honestly bought a day planner. Like I went old school with the binder with the day planner. And I just, every day, I still do it. I write down the top of the page every day. These are the 5 things you do. Do your Facebook posts, do your Instagram, do you add your friends, check your challengers, email your customers, and then how many messages. And now I'm filling it out on the Power of 3 document too, but there's something about doing that every day. Because I would get to this paralyzed state. I would sit in front of my computer at Facebook and be like, look at the news feed. It's so exciting. And then I'd be like, I would literally forget what I had to do. I was like, and then I'd be like, and now that it's in front of my face, I'm like, oh, I need to be scheduling my like page post. Hold on. I got to stop watching people's cat videos just for a second so I can do this. And honestly, it sounds so silly. Like, they're the basic things. They're even on they're on my whitey boards up there. And there's something about writing it down every day and then checking them off and just doing it every day.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a simple business and we always say that. And you're just in your tie. You just heard from someone who has left a really well-paying career. She's doing this full time. She qualified on her own to get to leadership. There is no other magic besides for being consistent. Well, how are you consistent? You write it down. You don't miss a step. So if you want to hit those goals, then she just laid it out. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call a night or whatever. Call it a night. Been an hour. So thank you guys for making it on the call. Thank you, Heather, for hosting this. It's been awesome. And I can't wait to surprise somebody next time to host a call. Just wait. So that's it. If you guys have any questions about this weekend, post it up, and Heather and I will for sure answer those questions. Alrighty. Good night.
Bye, guys.